Have you ever tried explaining your dreams to your parents and they just didn't get it? Not because they don't love you, but because the world they know is different from the world that you are in, or the world you are trying to build or explain to them or make them see reasons to. Have you ever found yourself in that kind of situation? Something many people struggle with, and that is dealing with parents who only see life through the bubble they grew up in. How do you handle difficult parents without destroying the relationship? Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Adefemi, and this is a space where we talk about what I know about life, faith, personal growth, immigrant tips, and navigating the realities many of us face as adults. So do not forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you find value in any of my videos. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about something many people struggle with but don't always say out loud, and that is dealing with difficult parents. How do we navigate this phase? I used to think that I'm the only one in this boat. I found out that I'm not the only one. No, African parents, they are so hard to deal with. Not necessarily because that they're bad parents, not because they don't love you, only understand life from what they know themselves, from the bubble in which they also grew in, from their whole upbringing. That is all they know about, so we can't really blame them, really. If you've ever experienced this, just know that you are not alone. So many millennials, or I would say Gen Z now, they are facing, they're passing through that phase also. Especially when you have to deal with African parents. I call them overly educated parents. Some people will say they're educated illiterates. How do you deal with them? It's not easy. You have understanding and loving parents regardless. You don't know what kind of gold you struck. Number one thing we should understand is many parents raised us with the knowledge and the experiences they had. They only raised us from, what they know themselves. For them, success may look like a stable job, go to school, get married, start having children. You don't understand things like, oh, I'm a social media manager. Like, what the hell is that? I'm a content creator. I have to be an engineer or a lawyer, a doctor. They don't want to take that risk. They don't want you taking risk. They want you to this is how things are done, and it has to be done that way. And honestly, that made sense in a particular time and environment. But the world we live in now, it's an AI era. Things are different. We want to evolve, and we also hope our parents will also evolve with us. So we need to give them grace at some point. But in as much as we're giving them grace, we also want them to understand our own perspectives. When we try to explain our ideas and dreams, or even our lifestyle choices, they are like, Kilonso, what are you talking about? I know more than you. I gave birth to you. One mistake many people make is trying to force their parents to understand immediately. Arguments, fighting them. I also did that a lot of times. We argue, we try to prove them wrong. We try to defend ourselves aggressively. No, I'm not going to do this. There's nothing you can do about it. But we guess, okay, delay. This is what I'm going to do. And before you know it, the conversation turns into conflict. Nobody's understanding anything. They're not ready to shift ground. You yourself, you're not ready to shift ground. Sometimes I would say it's okay. Sometimes it's necessary that you have to put your foot on the ground. If not, you never move forward in life. The goal should not be winning the argument. We need to remember that. It's just letting them see that this option is there, which is very difficult. It's very hard. The goal should be protecting the relationship while still living your truth. Trying to navigate life, be happy, but then it just seems like your parents are the weapon fashioned against you. There are a few things that help when dealing with difficult conversations with parents, which I've also tried myself. Accept that they may never fully understand you. They will never leave their myopic ways. I beg. There's some conversations that it might be hard, but it's important to have it sometimes. But then choose your battles. Sometimes many of us, we want our parents' blessings for the sake of peace. Just do what they want, and then afterwards we now do our own thing. But then to avoid the argument, I don't need everyone to understand my part for it to be valid. We should always remember that. Another thing is, not every comment needs a response. When you start arguing and saying this is what I'm going to do, this and that, blah blah blah. My mom, for one, she's that kind of woman that would report you to the whole world. so that you will listen. Sometimes parents speak from fear, worry, or habits, not from a place of control. You know, those trauma or those things that they've seen that didn't work out. I legit, there was one time my elder sister was going to travel out of the country, and our partner was in Nigeria, and my dad was saying, oh, there was this family friend. It took many number of years for the woman to go join the man, and eventually they ended up divorcing because the woman couldn't go. You cannot just choose somebody's experience to now say that is how your child's reality is going to be. You cannot judge from other people's experiences to now use it as your own reality. Learning when to explain and when to simply listen can prevent unnecessary fight. I remember when I was getting married, I had the kind of wedding I wanted, the kind of person I wanted to take my gauge. I was going to use sand, you know, Alaga of Nigeria. We already even booked her, like she was happy. We already fixed the price and everything. Only for my dad to say, no, he's one woman from the village that will come and do it too. The rebellious person in me will have stood my ground to say, oh no, this is what I want. But my dear, I didn't even have power for fights. Aside that, I was going to take an event planner. They said the event planner to come to the house, just disturbing the woman. I had to cancel our services. I was going to use a particular hall. The event planner already found the price for me, how much we can take it for. You know, we already like done all the logistics and all that. I don't want my parents to say no, it's not particular hall they will do. Like there was just so many back and forth. I just chose my battle. If this is how you people want to do it, I decided I was just going to go to church. I was not going to have a bridal train. I was not going to have a party afterwards because I cannot just use where the hall they wanted me to use. So I ended up coming to a compromise because they were not giving me what I wanted, and I didn't want to argue, I didn't want to fight. One, because I've left the country for a while, so I don't really know how things are done now, and I don't want to like start making it seem like, oh, it's because she has money, it's because she's wearing Oyibo. That's why now disrespect has now entered. So I just chose my battles kindly. This is how people want to do it. This your wedding is fine. Me and my husband will come here, and if you want to have anything elaborate or nice or whatever, we'll, at the end of the day, just one day. What matters is, you know, our commitment and marriage to each other. And sometimes in a way it pains me because I didn't have the kind of wedding I wanted, but it wasn't that bad at the end of the day. So I would say don't argue too much, because you just have hypertension over parents that are not ready to change their ways. No need. Or better still, if you say you're going to do it this way, they say no, you have to do it that way. I say I've heard. Then you do what you like. Let them be happy that you've listened to them. As the Bible says, it says respect your father and your mother. So your days can be long, Abby. That's what they want. No problem. We'll do as they say, but then we'll do what is in our own mind. Because when you start arguing, the conversation will be here. Show results instead of arguments. I think this is the best way to manage parents that are like this. Results speak louder than explanations, because when you start explaining, they don't understand. But when you accept what they've said and now go do your own thing, and at the end of the day, there are good results to show for it. But ensure there are good results too. When I was going to stay back after my master's in the UK, the only thing I kept hearing was, you will not need to go back home, you will not need to go back home. But then I didn't have the money to stay back. Or I had some money. I said, okay, maybe I'll do a second master's. I didn't know how I was going to stay back. I already applied for a job, but then I was not hearing anything. I had 6 months left on my visa. Long story short, I finally got a job, and I sent a message to my dad that I'm not coming back to Nigeria. My dad sent me one long essay like that. I want to be a slave in another man's country. I'd rather be a slave in another man's country, make money, than be a king in Nigeria and suffer. Because before I traveled, I didn't have a job. There was no money. So what's the essence? Let me kukuma stay where I'll be slave and have money than go and be king. They'll be hailing me. I'll be queen. They'll be hailing me and I'm broke. No, I don't want to be broke in my life. So I didn't listen to him. Now that I have a job, I'm happy, I'm successful by God's grace. My dad will be using me to brag. Call you when he has people around and be saying, oh, where are you again? Oh, you traveled. Oh, yeah. The same thing when my sister was going to transition from being a vet doctor to, I don't know, I think she does public health now or something like that. And you want to leave your lucrative job to go and be doing unknown and this and that. But now that she's okay, she's driving, they are bragging. Their daughter is a PhD holder. Show workings. Don't argue with them, but do something that is in your mind and show workings. And show your workings are showing. Because if your workings are not showing, they will laugh you and say, we told you so. May that not be our portion. May God let our workings show. Another example I'll make is you want to get married to someone and your parents say, don't get married to this person, they don't like their family, they don't this, they don't that, they don't. I would say fight for your love, but then prayerfully listen to your parents. Because God forbid, if something happens in that relationship, your parents will say, Shebi, I told you so. For them to accept, I will just go back on my knees and pray, keep praying, no matter how long it takes. I'll keep praying that God should touch their hearts, make them see what I say in this person, make it work out. Because you start arguing with them or trying to like stamp your feet or say it has to be this guy, if it's not this guy, it's nobody else. People can easily stain your white. This same guy that you are fighting for, this same lady you are fighting for, you now finally marry them, it now ends up that they now have bad agenda or bad character. Because they say marriage is like you buying a car. It can either be good or it can either be bad. So how is it prayerfully speak to God that God should touch their heart so that they will see the same thing that you see in them, and not choose one man or one woman over your family, lose your family, and then go and try be with the person, and something bad happens, you have nowhere else to go. Prayerfully have a balance. Our parents only become supportive after they've seen things working, which is also not okay, but we'll take it. A win is a win. Your consistency and progress can change their perspective more than debates ever will. And I know that we could get caught up while we're trying to like show workings, and you know the working is not working, trying to like prove them wrong. Well, if you can't make it happen, don't stress yourself, but then show workings if you can. Next one will be set respectful boundaries. Respect goes both ways. You can honor your parents while still making your own decisions. Respectfully do it. Sometimes that looks like saying, I appreciate your advice, I appreciate your gesture, I appreciate your support, but I've decided to try it this way. And if it doesn't work, then I can also try it your way. But let me just explore, let me get burnt. But then if I don't explore, I don't want to live in that regret of, oh, maybe it could have worked out, if you understand what I mean. So me, I'm team, let me learn from my own mistakes. Let me get burnt. I know our parents want to like, no, we don't want you to get burnt at all. We want you to learn from other people's experiences and choose right. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. Some of us will learn better when we get burnt. The best teacher is experience. You can be clear and respectfully explain these things to them. I would have felt like my sisters, the kind of decisions my parents made for them, they will stand their ground. I learned from those things, and I decided that when it comes to my turn, that I was going to stand my ground. Case in hand, my two sisters, they wanted to study a different thing. My elder sister wanted to be a lawyer. The second one wanted to be an architect. Somehow, my parents scattered their journey of life. They went to study different things. It just becomes so difficult for them to now turn around and do whatever they wanted to do. Especially financially, you know, so many things, or when you're not bold enough to even, you know, come out of your shell. So the last two kind of like, we learned from our two elder ones and decided to do better with our lives and with our choices. So our parents didn't really have so much say. For me, it was more like me, I'm not even a serious person. Say, what do you want to study? I don't know. But all I just know is that I'll be a lawyer. After I did law 2 years, and I told them, I don't want to do law again. I want to act. I did not even apply for acting self. And I said, oh, I'll go for mass com. Then when I now finished mass com, then I said, oh, you work in media. So I said, no, media is not for me. You know, I'm even thinking, I think I'm going to be a businesswoman. My parents just be like, this girl, like, you go end us. There was a point in time that my dad insisted that I had to work with him. When my mom begged me for a month, so then finally I decided I would work. I worked for him for maybe a month. When I said that I'm working for him, he'll be smacking my head and be doing that. I told him, see, it cannot work, because if I go and work for an outsider, they will not be beating me like that. There has to be employer-employee privilege. You cannot be treating me like your daughter. No, this is a working organization. And we fight, my dad said, carry your bag and go. I said, me, I'll go anywhere. I don't even want to stay in this house. They helped me to beg, and I stayed. And I decided that I was going to go and learn how to make it. And my mom was like, we didn't graduate. You want to go and be disgracing us. I'm embarrassing that generation. But now I know better, so I would probably, be calm, be clear, and be respectful in my interactions with them. And another thing is give them time. Growth takes time. Understanding takes time. Sometimes the same parents who say, oh, don't do this, they've seen their friends' children and they are being successful, and they'll be like, this is what they are doing. I think it's okay. They once doubted you, now they become proud. That's what we all pray for them to have a perspective shift. Above all, But here's something else that I want us to remember. Our parents also grew up in environments that didn't even allow them to speak up, that didn't even allow them to question authority. We now trying to like question or their plans for us. It's like, do you know who you are talking to? I'm your father. You cannot talk to me. I carried you for 9 months. I'm your mother. So when they push back on our choices, sometimes it's not because they want to limit us, but it's just that they want us to choose safe choices. The understanding that helps us respond with patience instead of anger. And I know that it could be hard sometimes. Someone's video and this person was talking about, she was trying to explain to her parents, well, a particular marriage was not good for her. And it just reminded me of when my younger sister was dating a particular guy, and this guy was not serious because of society or the caliber of society the guy comes from. My mom was insisting, oh, you need to endure. The person is showing you red flags in relationship. You are talking about endurance. So what will you not do when you now enter the marriage? Of you to stand by your daughter and be like, no, this guy is not good for you. Me, I will choose my daughter first. I don't even want to know what happened. The guy is not good. Come complain to me about the guy. I'm choosing you first. You are the one that is right. Me, I will not fight the guy because I don't know the guy. Yeah, the guy is not yet married to you. Even when my younger sister finally brought the person that she wants to marry, my mom still insisted that it's that guy that is better. Parents will always be parents. Or when you now tell them that you're divorcing your husband, they will now be like, marriage is always like that. Keep enduring. The kind of relationship, the kind of home I want to build for my child is that type that no matter what they do, they always have somewhere to fall back on. They always know that home is safe for them. Mommy has a loud mouth, she will talk, but mommy loves them regardless. My son to appreciate that no matter how prodigal they want to be, there's always a home waiting for them. There's always a mommy or a daddy that will embrace them irrespective of their mistakes. Just create an environment where your child feels safe and loved at the end of the day. And let's not repeat the mistakes of our parents. I'm going to end with this. At the end of the day, you can love and respect your parents without having to be a loggerhead while still building a life that aligns with your purpose. It might be hard. It will take loads of prayers, loads of hard work, loads of pleading. It might even take you going away from your dreams for the sake of peace. Always find your way back. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to explore. Don't allow those no's to limit what you would want to do. You're allowed to create a life bigger than the bubble you came from. It might take a while. It might take time. Sometimes when you do that courageously and respectfully, it always ends up well. If this video has resonated with you, I hope you have taken something out of this, and I hope you better know how to manage difficult parents. If now you're a parent, you can do better. And if you are still trying to figure things out with your parents, just know that it's doable. Calm down. Take it easy. And if you struggled with explaining your dreams to your parents, let us know in the comment section how did you handle it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.